The windcatcher, or Badgir, as it's called in Persian, is a classic Persian building part used to let air in and cool buildings naturally. These structures are very old, going back thousands of years, and you see them a lot in the dry, hot parts of Iran. Their special design catches the wind and sends it inside buildings. You most often find windcatchers in cities like Yazd, Kerman, and Kashan, where summer temperatures get really high. They are tall, tower-like buildings put on top of roofs. Having them around shows both the beauty and the purpose of Persian buildings. The word Badgir simply means wind catcher in Persian. Bad means wind, and gur means catcher. The idea is simple but works very well, using nature to cool the inside of buildings without needing electricity. It shows how clever old designs were at being kind to the environment. Windcatchers work by grabbing cool breezes from up high and sending them down into homes or water tanks. The wind is pushed through straight shafts, often over pools or underground water channels called Qanats, which makes it even cooler. Warm air goes up and out, creating a natural way for air to move. Some windcatchers can also work the other way, pushing hot air out of buildings. This is really helpful when there's no wind. The system works because of differences in air pressure made by openings in the building and the direction of the wind. Builders would often put the windcatcher in a smart spot to catch the main winds. The height and direction of the tower changed depending on the local weather. Taller towers could reach stronger winds above the street. Many old houses had several windcatchers, facing different ways. This made sure there was always air moving, no matter which way the wind blew. The number of towers also showed how important and rich the family was. So, the stuff used to build windcatchers included mud bricks, lime plaster, and wood. These materials are actually really good at keeping heat out, which is quite smart. Plus, their earthy colors also fit in nicely with desert views. Inside the house, the air from the windcatcher is often sent over a small indoor fountain or pool called a house. This makes it cooler through evaporation, you know. The fresh air you get is lovely, even when it's really hot. In bigger buildings, like mosques and old inns for travelers, windcatchers let air into large rooms. They are often built with domes, arched ceilings, or courtyards. The way the airflow and beauty work together is a special part of Persian design. When you put windcatchers and qanats, those old underground water channels, together, it really makes the cooling much better. Water brought from underground is, you know, naturally cooler. When air goes over it, the temperature inside drops a lot. In Yazd, known as the City of Windcatchers, these structures are actually a key part of the skyline. Many still work, and honestly are part of everyday life. The city's hot and dry weather made windcatchers absolutely necessary for people to live there. Windcatchers are not just useful but also, well, artistic. They're often decorated beautifully with carved plaster, tiles, and geometric patterns. Their designs show both Islamic and Persian art styles. So there are actually different kinds of windcatchers. Some only face one way, just catching the wind, while others face 4 ways, or even many ways, which, you know, lets you control the airflow much better. This ability to adapt made them super useful in different areas. The Dolat Abad Garden in Yazd, for example, has one of the tallest windcatchers in the world. It's over 33 meters high. Built way back in the 1700s, it still cools the building below, which is pretty amazing. Oh, and the garden itself is a special place recognized by UNESCO. Windcatchers actually influenced other ways of letting air in all around the world. You can see similar types in buildings in the Middle East, North Africa, and even South Asia. They really showed how to build early cooling systems that were good for the environment, which is quite impressive, honestly. So windcatchers also became really important in public buildings like baths or hammams and water storage tanks. By cooling the air and making it less humid, they helped save water and made things much more comfortable. These systems really helped the community, especially in those times before electricity. Their eco-friendliness is, being looked at again today. With more worries about how much energy we use and changes in the climate, builders are now studying Windcatchers for ideas on how to build sustainably. Natural cooling is definitely becoming a top priority in green building design. Modern builders in Iran and other places are actually putting Windcatcher ideas into new buildings. Even in today's hotels, shopping centers, and eco-friendly homes, systems like Windcatchers are cutting down on the need for air conditioning. It's fascinating how old wisdom is now shaping modern technology. So computer models and climate studies have shown just how well these structures really work. Windcatchers can actually make indoor temperatures lower by like 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. That's about 18 to 27 degrees Fahrenheit. And they do it all without using any outside energy. Of course, how well they work really depends on things like their height, design, and the air movement in the area. UNESCO and groups that look after cultural history have, pointed out Windcatchers as a key part of Persian building identity. Work to fix them up is already happening in cities like Yazd to help save them. And honestly, tourism is playing a pretty big part in bringing them back too. Windcatchers are more than just tools for air circulation. They are important cultural symbols. Local people often share stories about sitting under the breeze of a windcatcher on hot summer days. It's a memory deeply set in Persian childhood and family life. Poets and writers have used windcatchers to represent balance, calmness, and the way nature and buildings fit together. Their quiet efficiency speaks volumes about old knowledge. In stories, they often stand for peace and clarity. Teaching future generations about windcatchers helps them feel proud and aware of the environment. Schools and museums in Iran include windcatchers in their history and science lessons. They show not only the past, but also the future of building in a way that's good for the planet. The story of the Windcatcher is one that never gets old. From the dusty roofs of desert towns to the cutting edge of eco-friendly building, it teaches us to work with, not against, nature. In every breeze it catches, the Windcatcher whispers a lesson of new ideas, beauty, and survival.